So first,
absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast One Season Wonders Kid Nation Edition, episode 11. We're fucking finally almost home. All these kids can stop being abused by these producers. But no, good show. I find myself getting like incredibly angry, which means someone edited something right.
That you're like passionate about it. You're into the plot.
Yeah, I'm like into the plot. I want to know if these kids went to therapy. Like, I wish we did a
Surviving
1
Kid
month
Nation.
after. yeah, like 1 month after special. Do you know how badly I want a reunion? I know it would be bad.
I was thinking about that. I mean, granted, they can't do it because they're kids, and it just wasn't the signs of the time either. Like, but it goes to show how much Bravo has changed the reality TV landscape with their reunions.
Yeah, because I want like not even a reunion now. Like, I want one like 3 months post filming.
Yeah,
where then they like they're forced to do all this. But it would have been good, and I know that. And I can accept that, but I like want it. Okay, but before we get into like the actual episode, we have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Patreon. All of the links are in our description. Also, please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. I miss a good review, you know?
Especially after this. Like, do you like One Season Wonders? Do you want more? What show do you want?
I like don't even this was prime television. This was the greatest it will ever get. This is us at our best.
I've told you that for years.
Good.
I know it took us so long to get here, but this really does rank in like top 5 shows for me.
I can't believe I held on and didn't watch this show.
I'm so proud of you.
I can't believe it. I wish I had watched it and lied to you. No, because I wouldn't have been able to talk about it, and then it would have like killed me inside. Yeah. But I tell everyone about this show. I'm like, Dad, listen to the show I'm watching. I was at a party the other weekend, and I was like, I've been watching the show. Hear me out. I like sent them the episodes. I was like, go watch it too. You go watch it. Everyone go watch it.
The fact that they're in, because I'm sure everybody's watching. If you're not watching them and you don't know where to find them, I know we haven't said this about the series, but I put the link in our description of each episode of where to find them because you can't find them on the internet anymore. And whoever the angel is that saved these in a Google Drive, like, I appreciate you.
No, I love you. Like, know that I would do anything for you.
Absolutely. And tell me if you have any other content saved.
Yeah, if you'd like. Actually, we'll discuss later, but someone else, when I told them about this show, was like, I have a 1 season show for you. So if you don't want my recommendation, everyone, you should comment what you want.
Yeah.
But if we don't hear back, we're going to try to find this show, but I have a feeling it was also scrubbed from the internet.
Love. So the recommendations only can come through a review or Patreon. I'm setting that boundary.
Or me. Or else it's us.
Yeah. This is our podcast.
Yeah, it's our choice.
We are head honchos of the Patreon. I write a comment from us.
Yeah. You make a fake account just to be like, I request this.
I submit it through my dad. I'm like, Dad, go comment.
Yeah. You know what, Chris? If you have a show you think we should watch, maybe we'll get a different demographic. Hit us up.
6-year-old white men. I don't know if that's our demographic.
Wow, can you imagine us reviewing a show they enjoy that was only on 1 season? That'd be bad. There's no way. Anyway, let's get into this episode. I am excited to say the least.
Let's do it. So, previously on Kid Nation, the votes are in and a new town council is in charge with the 4 oldest boys in Bonanza City.
Down with town council and boys/men.
That is the most rightfully deserved down with town council. Isn't it funny? They kind of like always keep looking better and better the more town councils we get.
Yeah, that first town council was the best.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So their first order of business was to teach the town about respect, but it did not go as planned when Greg and Blaine overheard some criticism and things went from bad to worse.
Oh, I hate him.
Zach is struggling to accept his defeat, and Taylor refused to work again.
No. Kid Nation, whoever edited this is wrong. Taylor refused to leave the job she was in the middle of doing to go do a different job that the boys magically thought to do. Yeah. The dictators were like, do this now. And she said, not right now.
That's true.
I can't believe I'm sticking up for Taylor.
Justice for Taylor.
God, the arc of Taylor.
Well, the town council threatened to withhold her reward, but they caved in and gave her the letter from home because that was different than I feel like any other reward.
Still down with town council.
And then at the town meeting, the town exploded on Greg, and he had I'm putting this in quotes, change of heart.
No, this kid, no. Down with town council. There's no...
Well, they did do something good. They awarded Laurel the gold star, and only a few more remain. We know that we have, including this episode we're about to talk about, 3 episodes left. So who will get another gold star and who will not? And how will Greg and this town council hold the town together?
Will Divad get the gold star? She votes for herself for... Find out tonight.
Honestly, I would call it a success if she does not get one.
No, truly.
Well,
okay, let's talk about it.
It is day 31, and Taylor, Emily, and Kelsey are in the chicken coop. They love their dear old chickens.
Emily's obsessed with these chickens.
Hey, it helps pass the time, to be honest. We already know that we are all bored.
To do.
Yeah, and so Taylor's talking about how she thinks... or she and her friends have picked out their favorite chickens, and they're the, quote, pretty ones. And, like, who cares what happens to these ugly chickens?
No, all the ugly animals should die and the pretty ones should live.
I was like, girly, whoa.
Let's adopt that for people too, Taylor. All the ugly people on the inside.
I was about to say, the inside. There's a lot that are on the list.
Anyway, Taylor's a harsh critic over here, just killing ugly animals left and right.
She is so funny, though, because she doesn't, like, name call people, but she has these, like, sassy remarks that are just incredible.
I don't know where she gets it. For being 10, I don't know.
I love it, though. But Sophia talks with Greg and Blaine, and she's like, hey, we should have a feast tonight. Let's kill some chickens. And they're like, yeah, like 3 or 4. And she's like, no, like, we need to kill, like, 10. We're going all out.
Yeah, we're going to leave in 10 days. And the green team's in the kitchen, right? Let's kill the chickens. Let's kill them all before Yellow gets back in the kitchen.
That's so true.
They don't know how to cook them.
So it's kind of an agreement, but as soon as the boys go to the chicken coop and they're like shoving these chickens in this little pen thing, Emily runs to Taylor and is it Kelsey? I always forget, but either way.
Kelsey's minion number 1 that can play the piano, and the other one is...
Layla?
The blonde Layla.
Yeah, something with no.
Yeah.
Well, Emily goes and tells Taylor and minion number 1 what is going down. And so
they're killing the chickens!
Run right over to that coop and like start arguing back and forth with Greg and Blaine.
This got way too hot than it should have been. Like hot as in like 0 to 100.
They started like pushing each other, and I was getting a little concerned. Like, all right, let's de-escalate this a little bit. And thank God Sophia steps in. It's
so low stakes, even though chickens will die.
Yeah.
It is so low stakes. Why did no one else until Sophia step in go, okay, tell us what chickens you want us to be like, we're killing 10 chickens. You choose or we choose. Greg doesn't care. Why is he like pushing Taylor out of the way?
Exactly. This brought me flashbacks of when they tried to like lock Taylor in that bunk. Like we're going a little too hard for this town right now.
That makes me also think that Taylor just gets so like angry too, like irrational. That it's so weird. This is Lord of the Flies. This is what happens when you leave kids to fend for themselves.
Also with these chickens, what does she think is going to happen when she leaves this town?
They're going to die.
They're like, surprise. You don't have control over these chickens for the rest of your lifetime. You don't get to take them home.
Yeah, and like, if we're going to be honest, chickens are gross. They are. They're gross animals, I think.
Well, we might as well get a feast out of it. And so, the compromise is Sophia says, how about you pick the 10 chickens and Taylor offers up her ugly chickens as sacrifice.
Take the ones with the fuzzy heads. Okay.
Well, we do get Greg back as being the butcher for the town.
This is so gross. I hate the sound of him, like the chickens clucking
Whoosh.
and then not clucking.
It is literally because they obviously, like last time, edit out the actual chopping off of the chickens' heads, but we just get above, like Greg's waist and above, and it's just chop, chop, chop.
First of all, I know Greg said he was a butcher in a past life in his 15 years, along with a plumber and probably construction, maybe a babysitter. I don't know.
Oh,
but
definitely not a babysitter. Come on.
He's very good with certain children.
That's
but
true.
the fact that he does this so effortlessly scares the fuck out of me.
They had to have
really
cast
does.
one person who knew how to at least butcher a chicken a little bit, because how were they going to survive without this?
It would have been funnier to like have a kid that didn't know how to butcher the chicken try to figure that out.
Like terrified, closing their eyes, like about to chop, and it's like, dude, you gotta open them.
Would have watched that too.
I guess.
It scares me that he's 15 and he's like, yeah, I'll kill 10 chickens in a row.
It would scare me more if somebody didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, luckily we don't live in that life. Now I can pass concern to Greg.
Yeah, honestly. Well, it is now day 23, and Alex asks if Anjay and Jared know the numbers of pi, and they're just discussing a lot of smart topics.
I do 3.141592. 6, I think.
Did you get more than Alex?
No, I was with who tried to do it? Anjay.
Anjay, I think
I matched Anjay. Alex got more, and I only know this because I was in. It's called the Gifted program in 5th grade, and one day we all had to try to learn pi, and that's what stuck with me. I like 14159 I think.
I know till the 9, but I just feel like it gives you a rhythm in your head that you just never forget at that point.
There was one kid that memorized 20 decimal points.
Too many.
Just like Alex.
It becomes useless information at that rate.
I love my little nerds. I love this group.
They discuss aliens and things about how they existed 2 billion years ago. I love Jared. He's just on the most off the wall topics constantly.
He's so smart. These are such cute kids.
I love the three of them together, Alex, Jared, and Anjay. Anjay weirdly doesn't come off as smart as they do. They come up with these, they start the topics and Anjay participates. But Jared's are always quirky, and Alex is by the book, typical school smart.
Yeah, Jared's over here trying to create teleportation and quantum physics. And Alex is just here are the facts of what we do know so far. Yeah. And then Anjay's just this is amazing. Anjay's he's a nerd. He's spelling bee champ.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love when Revenge of the Nerds, baby. This is who runs the world now.
Yes. And they have their own place in this town. I respect them.
I do too.
Well, it is time for the town council to go read the journal. They talk about how the old town worked and played a lot, but there was no school and you got to learn things. And magically, there are now 4 history books in the back of this journal for them to use.
Which is the history of a fake town. Can we... It's just a storybook. I'm sure the parts about
No. History is facts, and this is real.
I'm sure the parts about Native Americans once owning and being on these lands is somewhat true.
You know what it is? It is based on a true story type of history.
Yeah, to be and then we built Bonanza City is a lot for me to handle. You're not going to convince me there's a place called Bonanza out there. That's why I thought it was named after the stupid host, Jonathan Bonanza. Because this just seemed who comes up with this?
No, I agree. The town, we all know, is completely made up.
Completely fake.
But I appreciate the commitment to the bit, but sometimes they go too hard where I'm all right, we don't need a fake history book. We could have done real U.S. history.
As a kid, did you have to ever go to a pilgrim town or those old timey towns where you had to learn about history?
No, I always wanted to. I had friends in college talking about this, or when you had to go to a facility where you could act out different jobs and you had to I don't know. We never did cool stuff like that.
I had to go to an old timey town, and I always just found it so weird how in character everyone was. I appreciate the bit, but if I was does anyone have a tissue or something? They'd be what are tissues?
Oh,
we have
God.
handkerchief. And I'd be like, I came here on a school bus. That's what this is like. I'm like, yeah, do I think parts of the land is true? And you're going to talk about like the Native Americans and like what once roamed these lands as far as animals.
Yeah.
Do I think you built a fucking town called Bonanza City? No, the bit is too far on this one.
Yes.
A history book. Also, did you see how tiny it was?
It was so tiny. It was literally
5
a
pages.
pamphlet, basically.
Yeah, it was nothing.
And so they have to decide, do they want to fill their time with school? But let's be honest. They are going to do this because they have to. What else are they going to do every day?
They said it usually has to do with the showdown.
They're catching on.
We want a reward first and foremost.
Absolutely. After missing 2 rewards a few weeks ago, back-to-back weeks, we cannot risk missing another. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, DK fights really hard for them to do it because of the showdown. And
he's like, our brains are melting here. Please.
Blaine knows the Yellow District will absolutely hate this, but hey, that's what happens when you're town council, Blaine.
Sorry. Down with town council.
So they do go share with the rest of the town, and people aren't thrilled, but Taylor absolutely hates it. She hates reading. She hates school. And I think it was Colton who turns around and is like, deal with it, Taylor. And I will never get over people just telling Taylor to deal with things.
It doesn't surprise me that Taylor like hates school, but it surprises me that she hates it this much that like all of her friends are just going to do this stupid thing, and you only have to do it for a few hours for one day.
You are missing real school right now for 40 days. That is incredible. You have to sit and read and listen to a story for 2 hours. I would call that a win.
Yeah, it's not even real. She's like, I hate to read. I hate to learn.
Lay in your little bed. Lay in your bed and just shut up. Like, that's all you have to do.
You could just lay there. You could just lay there, literally. Okay. But Jared says education is the root of civilization.
He knows all. And we also know that it's been 32 days and we haven't done anything educational. Like, some people are like, why do we start now? Some people, our brains are rotting. I mean, you can clearly tell some kids love school and some kids don't. And like, the kids who love school do miss it a little bit.
I loved when Laura was like, I love school, so I don't have a problem with it. I was like, I also loved school growing up. You're telling me to read 10 pages of a book? Okay, what else am I doing? All my friends have to do the same thing.
If we had to read our own book and like take a test on it, that would bother me. But if we're just going to sit there and read it together and then do this showdown together, fine.
Yeah, who cares?
I'll read this stupid story.
Who cares?
So they do gather and they read the book. And Alex is reading it for Blue, and everybody's like, whoa, you got to slow down on reading. We're not in taking this new information as quickly as you are. Jared tells the Red District that he's going to give them a test after they read it. And I was like, all right, you loved school too much. Like, let these people just absorb the information.
You know, Jared ate that information up. There was no crumbs left. He inhaled it. He knows all.
Absolutely. Green decides to do something different. Sophia recommended that they actually act out all the stories because she learned that that's how you learn information quicker or just like learn it better. And I was like, that's actually really smart because this is just a story.
Yeah. I mean, at its core, it's literally just a story.
Yeah. For Yellow, we have them reading it as well, but Taylor and Layla are missing and they are in the chicken coop instead. And this
seems less fun.
Well, they're with their pretty chickens because those are the only ones that survived the wipeout of the chickens.
It just seems it's like less fun, I would think.
I mean, I would rather be laying down in my bunk. I agree.
Yeah, listening to a story. But what do I know?
Yeah. Well, town council hunts them down and is like, open the chicken coop. They have to come study or they're going to lose the reward. Like, we need them to sit down and pay attention to this.
Okay, this is a reason to be like, I'm not going to give you the reward.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing. I don't love, the thing is, when then you like go, you're such a brat, you're so terrible.
That's the thing.
That's when you lose them.
When they love to belittle people in this town council.
Yeah, it's not great.
Well, Layla is
whatever.
swayed. She decides she doesn't want to lose her reward, so she is going to go study.
I love how she blocks Taylor from the boys and goes, if you don't come right now, they're going to pull your reward. And Taylor's like, I don't care. And then Layla turns around like the boys couldn't hear her. And we're like, I'm going. I don't know if she is. And I was like,
she's like, I don't want to miss out on this.
Go with your friend. It's like not that hard.
It's not that hard. But Taylor is not going to go study. She's just being stubborn at this point, let's be honest. Yeah. And they kind of ask her, like, what is the point of her staying in this town if she's not going to participate in anything? Just go home.
Just go home.
And she doesn't know. So we shall see what happens with Taylor. It is time for the showdown, and Mr. Bonanza asks if everybody did a lot of studying, and mostly everybody raises their hand, except who didn't? Oh, Taylor didn't. So the town council lets Mr. Bonanza know Taylor is not up for any rewards moving forward. Dun, dun, dun.
We let the one adult know.
Yeah. The producers behind the scenes are like, hi, can you please remind Taylor every 5 minutes that she does not get the reward? It's the only drama we have.
No reward for you, bitch.
But Mr. Bonanza does have a pop quiz for us based on questions from these history books.
Wow, who would have seen that one coming?
But there's a twist on it. There will be a different version of pop to this pop quiz as balloons will rise, 3 balloons with answers to the questions, and they have to pop the wrong answers, leaving the right answer balloon still inflated. And basically, first to get 3 things correctly will get the upper class, and then so on and so forth as you hit your 3 questions, right?
Yeah, rock out.
This is kind of fun, I feel like. I would thoroughly enjoy ripping that slingshot with that ammo.
No. I don't think I could do it. I would be the brains. I would be yelling the answer because I'd be afraid I'd like fuck up and lose too much ammo
or like accidentally pop the wrong balloon.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, I would accidentally pop. Like I remember watching it and being like, how do you control?
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to accidentally pop it. Well,
yeah.
We also learned that in order to get the reward, it's going to be based on how much remaining ammo, and they're basically just little like nuts. Is that what they're called?
The little pebbles, the ammo, yeah.
Yeah, they're like these little metal things. They're going to fill a jar at the end, and if they have enough remaining ammo to fill the jar, they get the reward. So don't waste it.
But also, I don't know the last time you used a slingshot like this. So, like, if you fuck up, it's going to happen probably.
Do you think they got like a practice round to see who should do the slingshots or not?
No. I think they were like, who's listen, if you were like, who probably can shoot a slingshot? I'm going to pick Blaine and Greg immediately.
Yeah.
I feel like people would know their strengths. Like, I'd be like, no. Like, Jared probably didn't volunteer. I'm surprised Mike, though, that's also why I think no. Because, like, what's Mike doing here? Yeah, but
he is so headstrong. I feel like he thinks he's amazing at so many things, and it's like he doesn't know when to take the back seat.
Okay. I mean, I don't, yeah, whatever, Mike.
Well,
my dude, Mike.
They go ahead and get some questions. There's basically like 11 questions they go through. I won't go through them all. I didn't write them down, to be honest. But I will say the first question, Yellow immediately submits their answer, and they are incorrect.
Zach was cracking up, though, because Zach was the one. It was like something like a Native American tribe. And Zach goes, it's the Pintos. And I was cracking up because I was like, Pintos aren't a Native American tribe. And once it was done, everyone started laughing and was like, Pintos are beans. And then Zach was cracking up and he's like, that was my bad. That was my bad. Because I think at that point you go with what's sounds familiar. And Pintos sounds familiar.
It does ring some bells in a different way.
It's a bean.
Definitely. Well, Yellow does not do well during this. They kind of just all go back and forth for a little bit. And Green wins over, like they get 3 points the fastest. They're the upper class, which
they were acting this out. We saw that coming. They knew this stuff inside and out. And fucking Hunter, man, got that arm on him.
That's the thing. I think Green had the good mix. And this is, I think, always to do with their age range. They had a good mix of brains, but also people who could handle the slingshots. Because
brains and brawn, yeah.
Yellow was okay with like getting some balloons, but they weren't great at it. Red absolutely sucked at just even hitting any balloons.
Oh man, Mike really wasn't strong enough to pull back that rubber band.
No, everybody else, because they need to save that ammo, is telling Red how to actually do the slingshot correctly. Yeah. It needs to be pulled back correct, like a little bit harder.
And then who knew Migle, the sleeper, right? She was shooting balloons up in there.
Ever since she didn't work that one week and Greg and Blaine wanted to boycott
now
the
we
showdown.
See her everywhere.
Yeah, she's really stepped it up. Well, Blue does come in second, and they are the merchant class. And then Yellow and Red, it's kind of coming kind of between those two, because Red does finally figure out the slingshots, thank God to everybody else's advice. But Yellow does get third place. They're the cooks, with Red as the laborers.
Nice.
But it's time to count the ammo, and everybody is stressed because Red sucked for so long. They're really concerned at how much ammo was wasted. Yeah. So they all dump it in. Red is the last, and the jar overflows. Thank God we get that reward.
I think the producers were counting on the other three teams sucking a lot more, Red. So they gave them like a shit ton of ammo.
I was actually stressed. They made it seem like such a bigger deal. It kind of seems like unless you majorly fuck up, it seems pretty easy to get these rewards.
You'll be fine. Yeah, I wasn't too stressed because it seemed like Green and Blue were just like not missing a shot. And then in my mind, I was like, these are kids. I would give them pounds of ammo and be like, they're going to waste most of it.
I think what's hard is we didn't know how much ammo they got from the beginning. We had seen the jar they were going to like pour it into. But
jar was tiny.
The buckets of where the ammo sat at the beginning, it was a large rectangular, but it was wood. So I don't know how much they started with.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I wasn't concerned, but
I only was because of Red there for a minute.
What do I know?
We see the options, and option number 1 is a library filled with all these books, and our nerds are pumped.
Ooh.
Good option, decent option. We need things to do.
Yeah.
Until we see the second option, which is an arcade with all these games, and they're free. That is the real kicker.
A free arcade. No, I wasn't a big arcade person, so I was like, I could go either way on this one. But I was like, maybe without Laurel, they'll finally pick like the fun option. You know what I mean?
I would be so disappointed if I was a kid and they picked the library, just because I think more people can have fun with an arcade, especially, well, okay, they picked the arcade, let's just be honest. But after seeing what is inside the arcade, because the view we always get of like the reward is obviously a pared down version.
Yeah.
I did think it was only going to be 2 or 3 games at first. And I was worried it was going to be like that kids lounge where only so many people can play at once, but there were so many books. Sometimes it's hard to gauge like how much is there for kids to do. But after seeing the arcade, there is so much for so many kids. It's not just all video games.
Yeah. The only one who had some pushback was like Michael, because he doesn't like arcades, which is also, honestly, that's where I would be. I'd be like, I don't really play arcade games, but like, the fuck, you know what? We got Bibles for me to read if I'm really like dying to read something, I guess.
That's so true. Well, the town council also said, like Greg says, that there are books in the dry goods store if people do want to read.
True.
So Taylor also doesn't want the arcade because she knows she will miss out.
Oh, hilarious.
What a week for her to be missing out on the reward. Yeah. This is probably the best reward out of like fun.
Yeah, too bad she didn't miss the vegetables.
Can you imagine if they were withholding it from her then?
Oh, I don't get any vegetables. Okay.
Producers probably would have stepped in and been like, actually, she really needs some vitamin B. Can you give her an apple?
Yeah. So
that's not what's in an apple, but
we get the arcade though. Woohoo. We're all I saw trouble a mile away from this.
Oh my God. Immediately. It's
away.
How do you enforce jobs when people want to play, which is what happens. We're on day 33 and everybody's new jobs had started, but the town council talks to each of their districts saying like, hey, here's the time when you can start playing in the arcade. You need to do these few things. So like for Red, it was like filling the water tower up halfway, and they are like freaking out because it's like bare bones at this point.
Yeah, but he's not playing games either. He's waiting for Red Team to like, he's like, we got to finish this before we do it.
That's huge. You have to lead by example. And I hated that the Red Team was like automatically complaining. And it's like, hey, if he said, I think 4 trips for each person, I don't feel like it would take that long. Maybe an hour, maybe 2, which in kid time does feel like forever. But the quicker you start, the quicker you get to that arcade would be my mentality.
Which is what DK was trying to say. He's like, let's stop complaining and get it started.
Yeah.
But Green Team, because they're the upper class, get to go fucking immediately. And my favorite was like cute little Hunter, because he went into the arcade and he's like, I'm just going to check it out and then I'll get back to work. And I was like, no, take the whole day. Take the whole day off.
Through and through, he is such a hard worker. I feel like Green being in that arcade makes it harder because you can hear the sounds from the arcade in the town. And so that just incentivizes people in the other districts from doing their jobs.
I know. But oh man, Hunter was the cutest. But surprisingly also like Sophia doesn't really care about the arcade.
I was kind of shocked by that. Yeah, she goes into the dry goods store and with her money pays for the remaining books and decides to build a library, which I think 80 cents. So cool. Like these are the moments where I'm like, wow, this town, like they want to build it a great place for everybody because it is now a free library for anybody who doesn't care for the arcade games.
Sophia's so fun. She's like, and Alex, of course, is in the library. He's like, hey, should I also give you one of my books?
Yeah, he's like, can I put you with it? Should I trust you with my this book?
Yeah, my quantum physics book, whatever. Yeah, he's fucking reading. But I'm proud of Green Team. They deserve this win. They deserve to take a few days off and go in that arcade. I'm pro this.
Me too. Well, 2 people decide to take the day off, even though they are not upper class. Mike and Jared quit on working. And
Which surprises me.
Me too.
A little. Because they're not like the bad kids.
I think it's such an exciting thing to have. Yeah. It's easy to just be like, I'm done. This is where I draw the line.
Yeah, Jared was like, you know what? I'm fucking out. And Mike followed him.
They just walked straight in.
Their way into the arcade. And DK's like, hey, can you come back? And they're like, no.
And DK even gives up trying to get them to come back to work.
Like, whatever. You're on my shit list.
Yeah. Well, while people who should be working are in the arcade, we have Hunter who should be in the arcade. And he is working so hard. He's in the kitchen. And he talks about his work ethic and how he has the same work ethic as his dad. And he shows off a picture. And he is such a good kid.
I love Hunter. I love him. I love the Green Team. I want to be on the Green Team.
Have we met a bad egg from the Green Team?
No, not at all.
Dang.
They're all perfect in their own little way. I love them.
Well, Taylor does not get that reward. And so Zach is like, hey, I think I can probably reason to Taylor to do her job and like actually work for this town. And so he sees that he actually did a better job with Taylor when he was on town council, and maybe he can go and speak to her with respect and she will actually do some work for her. And it works.
Yeah. I think Zach is just like being like, I know that you think they're jerks and I understand your thoughts, and just know, like, I think if you work, they'll throw you a bone. And Taylor's like, I'll think about it. But okay.
Yeah, definitely. So he tells her that they need help with the dishes, and she does go to the kitchen, and she wants people to treat her with respect. And she does also want to go into the arcade. I think she ends up, because she's so stubborn, like flaring up anytime she feels a little threatened. And this new town council especially speaks with so much disrespect. It flares her up so much quicker than with past town councils.
She's not going to back down. She's always going to stick to her guns, even if they're wrong or they hurt her. She has to do it. But I love, she shows up at those dishes and she looks at them and she goes, and then she walks over to them and like Rocky-esque music starts playing.
It's so good.
She's gonna clean a dish.
Okay, it is
So
insane
funny.
how many dishes were there. I just assumed at some point
With
we
a
would
lot of
see
dishes.
someone else helping with her or like in the kitchen with her. But no, she does like all of them herself. At least they edit it where it looks like she does all of them herself.
I think her minions were in there for a little bit, and then Hunter was also in there with her for a little bit.
Yep.
I have a feeling she didn't do all of them by herself. And Hunter also looks like he was going to get water and bringing it to Taylor.
Mhm.
So I'm going to give Hunter the win on this one too, or else we'd be eating off of the
Yeah.
grossest dishes with this black water that they wash it in every single time. She finds the sponge, Meredith.
Oh my God, Alicia, that
When
was
she finds
so
the
gross.
sponge,
Well,
I threw
there's
up.
so many problems with their dish system. It's that they just leave them out for
Forever.
days and like
Forever.
on the ground and on the table. And then yeah, that sponge was like sitting in a gross ass dish, and that's also black and like ugh.
It was all bad. It was all really bad.
I can't wait to stop. The only reason I want to stop watching this show is that
the dishes.
watching them do the dishes constantly stresses me out.
Well, thank God for Hunter for getting cleaner water. And I like that Taylor says, like, it makes me feel good that Hunter's here because, like, he's helping me and no one else is. But I do think her minions were in there for a little bit.
Yeah,
Probably not long.
I think it helped her motivate her at the tail end of it. Like, you're almost done.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the town council comes over and they see the hard work that she's done and they allow her to go in the arcade, and Greg picks her up and carries her in.
So weird. Yeah, all right.
Well, it is now day 34, and Sophia wakes up and she realizes that the town is so deserted. Obviously,
where are they?
Everyone is in the arcade playing their games instead of doing any ounce of work.
And gambling. I loved when we saw the poker game and Emily goes, hit me. And I was like, oh my God. And then you got like, I'll put $5 or whatever. They don't have $5, but like 5 cents on this game. I was like, God, they're out here just fucking gambling. That's hilarious.
Yes. Like, and so Sophia is in the kitchen cooking breakfast because she's queen of just all cooking
of everything.
Activities.
She's amazing.
And she's extremely frustrated. So she goes to find Blaine. And like you said, everybody's gambling. Blaine is like yelling that he won't get his yellow district in the kitchen because he has money on this pool.
I got money on this game.
Sir.
He was like, money?
My God.
I'm fucking starving. I'm out here making pancakes for you and your district.
I have a question for you related to this food situation. They always seem to complain about breakfast the most. Do you think that they only have to cook themselves breakfast and then maybe production provides them lunch and dinner?
I know the answer to this, and I will tell you in our last episode.
Okay, I can hold on. Just like everybody else can. But I've started to realize
they
that.
They do need to cook, though, breakfast for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Sophia really needs these people to get in the kitchen. I would be starving. I would be pissed. I'm not going into the arcade without breakfast personally.
Which is weird. This is how you know these kids are like so bored and so excited about this arcade because they're like, what's food?
Yeah.
We're just going to do this. Sophia, though, I think should just make breakfast for herself.
I thought about that. It kind of looked like she did. She made a small amount, or maybe just from like my green team people.
I bet she made a small amount and then went, this is stupid. And she was like, and I'm going to find Blaine.
She's too nice. Yeah.
I know, same.
I thought about that a while ago whenever there were issues with the yellow team in cooking. Like, I would at some point just start cooking for myself.
Yeah, same. I'd put it in like a napkin or something so I didn't have to touch a plate. Just eat with my hands and we're done with it.
Oh, the plate issues. Well,
yeah.
Sophia isn't the only one to realize that the arcade is not helpful for town work ethic. DK is starting to realize it might not be a good idea as well.
Oh, when DK gets mad, he gets mad.
It actually, it's bad if DK is pretty pissed at something.
This is so stupid. No one's out here.
No one wants to work anymore.
Calm down.
Is that what we should tell in actual present day when people are like, nobody wants to work? We should be like, yeah, I know. They're all in the arcade.
You need to get off your ass and work.
Get out of the arcade, parents.
Nobody wants to work anymore. Get off your butt. Yeah. Just give him. He was the first Kim Kardashian meme. It was DK. Yeah.
Pull yourself out by the bootstraps. Stop getting in the arcade.
Come on. You're all fine.
It's now time for the town hall. Woo. And Mr. Bonanza asks if the people approve of the arcade, and everyone does except for Sophia.
I think there's a few.
Well, Sophia talks the most, and then DK and Nathan also agree.
Yes.
We've kind of realized that from morning to night, people are playing games. And while like we want to have rewards, we need a system to still incentivize working. And so that just kind of seems like policing the arcade timing, or like how much time you spend there, is the biggest issue.
Yeah. Or like it should be only open certain hours.
Yeah, like an evening kind of activity. Kind of like what a bar would be. I guess bars are open all the time, but the like social culture of like going to the bar after work. It's like go to the arcade and saloon after work.
Yeah.
So the town council kind of huddles up, and they think that they should padlock the arcade, and everybody freaks out. But it's just until work is actually done. So it seems like they are going to set hours on when the arcade is open. Mm-hmm. And how are they going to enforce this? Well, we finally get a sheriff in town. Sophia is going to be the town sheriff.
Law and order, baby. We finally got it. We have Sophia here to fucking lay down that law. No more fun. I love when she stands up too and she goes, "I'm your sheriff, town."
Here we go.
Hey, town, it's me. Your sheriff. Ooh, that was badass.
I agree. I actually am kind of shocked we didn't nominate a town sheriff during the Law and Order week.
Oh my God. I can't believe we've gone this. I have been saying it for weeks. I'm like, there's no Law and Order.
Yeah.
There's no one in charge of Law and Order.
Sophia's a good one to have too. She's pretty fair, and she doesn't just want people to work like to the death. She's not like Hunter and Nathan, where they're just like, they are workhorses and they want everybody, not saying that they want everybody else to do it, but that their mindset is they have such great work ethic. Sophia's like a pretty good baseline of like, hey, there's a minimum bar we should hit.
She also just speaks very nicely to everyone.
Also true. Law
and Order, baby. Yeah.
Well, it's time to move on to the Gold Star, and it goes to our workhorse, Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. Fuck yeah. And he's pumped. He's going to give it to his dad, which is so cute.
Who lost his job a year ago. I love when they have like really sweet responses to like thanking the town for the Gold Star because of some like big reason. College is a good reason, but I do love when it has a little bit more heart behind it.
I'm indifferent either way. You're gonna win $20,000. I doubt your dad's gonna take it. I love that you think of him.
It can be college too, but I'm just saying, like when they're like, I want to use this because I want to, go into this field. Like if Devad won it, I would hope she'd say something like, because I want to be a doctor and I'm 8 years ahead of me. Like I like when they have like a heartful response to receiving it, not just like, yeah, college money.
They literally, I couldn't care less if you spent it on candy or college. It's the same to me. I don't know. I think I'm just not. It's the same thing. I think when people on reality shows are like, I'm playing this game for my kids. I'm like, I don't care what you're playing it for. Just play it. I don't
just play
care.
And get the money.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you're playing, if you deserve the money, you deserve to spend it however you want. Which is bad. I know a lot of people like fall for the story. Yeah. And I fall for people's I think it's just fun to hear
about people's personal lives because they don't get weaved in as often.
Yeah, we don't know anything about these people.
Barely anything. Well, before we end the episode, I just have to point out, because at the very tail end of the episode, we see Jared sneaking into the arcade. He realizes the town council has not locked it up yet, so he plays a few games and is like, I gotta get out of here before they find me.
He's like, one more time. He's like a junkie getting his last fix. He's hilarious.
Oh my God, I love him.
Oh man, good episode. Okay, well, I got two final kids we're gonna talk about on this episode. Because they were kind of hard to find anything on. So we got the besties, Sophia and Michael.
Yes.
So Sophia went on to be a Latin and history major at Smith College and got a law degree from Fordham University.
Isn't that like our second or third lawyer?
Wait, what?
Like, hasn't somebody else become a lawyer as well on this cast?
Zach was in law. I don't know if he's a lawyer, but he like also graduated with some sort of like law degree.
Okay, I'm really impressed by these kids. I know because a lot of them seem to want to be in the entertainment industry. So some of them making like a 180 and going, like, getting a really good education is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then Michael. So Michael and Sophia, from the last I could find, they do actually keep in touch.
Ooh.
I think. I again, I'm not like so sure on like how often.
Yeah.
But from the digging I could do, yeah, they have kind of kept in touch. So Michael, it looks like works as a documentation engineer at Reality Labs, which is under the Meta umbrella of shit. And he graduated from American University. He double majored in broadcast journalism and philosophy.
What an interesting double major.
I know. And then, so both of them on Reddit, do not look this up, but both of them on Reddit did an Ask Me Anything.
Okay.
Sophia did a, like, I was on a children's reality show, Kid Nation. Please ask me anything. I'm going to be using this for a book. And everyone wrote questions, but she didn't answer any of them, which makes me think that whenever she decided to do that, which I think was like at least 2 to 4 years ago, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to write this book," but she's like not going to answer the questions. She'll just like take them and put them in her book, which like kind of sucked because I was like
because it sounds
looking
like
at this
book is not coming out.
Yeah, I haven't seen a wink of it. But Michael went into great depths in his Ask Me Anything to where I found out why a lot of things on the show happened.
Can't wait. Okay.
But he did say in that, like, I do want to just talk about like him and Sophia a little bit. Him and Sophia still, or like at the time, let me try and find the Ask Me Anything Reddit. Ooh, Reddit. Nope, I don't know how to spell Reddit right now, but they had still kept in touch at the time. And Michael said by the end, him and Sophia were like best friends on the show because they both didn't give a shit anymore. Like we saw with Sophia where she was like, I'm going to make this gross concoction and have someone put their hand in it for money.
Yeah.
Like she just didn't care. And he found that hilarious because he was done too.
Yeah.
Which is why last episode, I think I like kind of, or maybe it was the one before, where I was like, Michael just doesn't fucking care anymore. I kept saying that literally because I had read that like he
clearly
does
had a
not
shift.
care. Yeah, he was just kind of like, that's also I think why he ran for town council. He was just kind of like, let's see what fucking happens at this point.
Yeah, like it's just in a sense a new experience at this point. It's like you have said the last, I feel like few episodes, it's not that serious, and I feel like he stopped taking it so seriously and probably was like, let me just have some fun and have some experiences.
Yeah. So they're fun that they're like a duo that I loved reading about because Michael was very like, Sophia was awesome.
Yeah.
She's my favorite. We did like, talk for a while. Okay, he did the Ask Me Anything like 11 years ago. So
wow.
But at the time he was still like really hanging out with Sophia.
Very fun.
So yeah. So fun. Yay! I love besties.
Me too.
Okay, well that's all I have. If you want to know though all about like what was happening behind the scenes, it's going to be our last episode. So not the next one, the one after, because the next one's a deep dive on Mr. Bonanza himself.
Here we go. We're almost to the end. Let's see how it wraps up.
I'm going to miss it. Yeah, but do all the things I mentioned at the beginning.
Thanks for joining. Bye.